Hello and welcome to the EEPROM 9, and those of you who are eagle-eyed and bothered to read the title will notice this is to do with the IBM 5150. Yay! Another video on that. Woohoo! Shut up, you retarded dog. Now, it's gone through my WD-40 and SIF treatment, and the case has come out looking pretty damn sexy. The expansion unit, which is 51 something or other. The bottom case was actually worse than the top one when it comes to rusting, so it was the opposite. And you can see there's still some rust in there, but it wasn't really that easy to remove, and there were several instances where I almost slashed open my hand. It is a 5161 expansion bay. Apparently these are really... Oh, for fuck's sake, dog! Apparently these are really rare. Dogs there. So we have the power supply, which won't really need much more than a dust down. That's fine, it works. I've replaced those capacitors that went pop in it. The hard drive, now this is the reason I really want to get this up and working, is I want to find out what's on these hard drives. Saying that, I could probably swap the adapters round and change out one of the floppy drives. Now we've got next door's dog going off, so if it's not him, it's that little fucker next door. We got an internal hard drive card with an actual hard drive on the card. These are pretty awesome. And then we've got a lovely controller unit, all built in, quite nicely self-contained, especially for the era. 2 EEPROMs, not sure why it needs 2 essentially BIOSes. A Zyalog microcontroller, Z8. I have come across those before. I don't know the architecture off the top of my head. And a ton of, I don't know if they're ASICs or not, probably. They're made by Amati or something? I struggle to read that. I don't know if you can. Oh good. Shut him out so we don't have to listen to that stupid noise. Now we've just lost half our light. So, here is the adapter for the expansion unit. There's another one that's, I think the card's similar. It looks similar to this anyway. Hello, you can't get in. Haha. And it's pretty much covered exclusively in TTL logic, 7.4 series chips. Then we have the main hard drive controller, the more classic style that controls a massive, huge hard drive. Once again, covered in TTL logic with a few more dedicated chips up here. Some sort of mask ROM by the looks of it. Saying that could be mask ROM, 1983. 8401, so you sort of get it that these were added in as later on upgrades to the actual machine. But yeah, and then it goes to, you can equip, looks like, up to 2 hard drives with this controller. I don't know if it supports any more. Then, after that, you get the mysterious unknown card. I do not know what this one is. I suspect by the BNC port, some kind of networking card for some ancient networking protocol such as Token Ring. Although if it was Token Ring, wouldn't need 2 of these. We've got what still looks to be 2 mask ROM chips, RAM, microprocessor, and some more ROM. Unfortunately not EEPROMs. But yeah, this is quite an interesting card. If anyone knows what this card is, please do put it in the comments, because I can find no real useful identifiers on it to identify exactly what it is and what it does. And last but not least is the backplane card, which has diddly squid on the back apart from traces and tracks, no battery acid damage, and pretty much, other than the connectors, a few tantalum caps, a crystal oscillator and a microchip, really nothing. But the thing that really intrigues me about this is, if you focus, there we go, a number of unpopulated chip sockets called spare. which really seems odd that you'd use a circuit board to store spare chips. Now, judging these look like about the size of RAM chips. I'm not sure what the hell that's about. Then of course we've got good old tantalum caps, which could well short and explode when they're next powered on. You never know with tantalums, they're exciting like that. And then of course the name of the board, the IO planar. Unfortunately completely devoid of any kind of PCB art, although there is a date code on it. Made in the second week of 1984, so this is pretty old. And that pretty much covers this. I've run through the cleaning process on the case. I'm not going to worry about washing this in the sink. I'm literally going to dust it off because there's bugger all components to get in the way. You can just do that with a bit of tissue or something, a swab if you really want to get precision. But other than that, I think the next shot of this will be it reassembled. I just thought it'd be fun to contrast while it's all out. A modern hard drive. I would have liked to have done this with an SSD, but that's currently sitting running Linux Mint in my laptop. Compared to a 1980s IBM hard drive, bearing in mind these can go in terabyte or more capacity. These 10 to 20 meg, maybe a bit more if you're a bit lucky. This particular unit is 160 gigs, so it's still orders of magnitude larger than this one. Unfortunately there's no capacity label on this thing anywhere. The one in here is larger. I'll actually pull out an example that I've got in the garage that's completely dead and show that. Now in the caddy of this is basically one of these, which is still proportionately larger but far more on the technological advancement levels. Hello dog, you're not going to be noisy, are you? And this one, more interestingly, has a standard IDE interface. So this is a really modern model of the one. I don't know what this one has. It doesn't look like... It might be IDE, I'm not 100% sure. It looks like an IDE interface, I could be wrong. And then you've got your standard head cylinders, so you can actually work out the capacity of this one. Unfortunately, it's once again not printed on it, but it's probably going to be around the same sort of capacity as this, roughly. And because we can, there's the discs. Oh, that is very, 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 very rough. But that is some crusty old discs. This is quite a nice score, this was. But yeah, so far it's looking a lot nicer, because when I pulled it out of the garage we had a bit of a mouse infestation a few months back. They are now long dead. And much to my dismay, I found mouse crap on this machine, and so I have since cleaned it and disinfected it and all that. But the fact that the back plane here was missing made me worried that it could have gotten inside and caused damage. Thankfully it hadn't. None of the dust was disturbed, and there were no mouse droppings inside either, so all good. The mouse, it only went around it and on it, not inside it. You'd have seen the disturbances to the dust and whatnot. But I will stick in a modern backplane thing to cover the gap up. But yeah, back to scheduled. Now I'm not going to take this one apart completely, but I do want to show you at least the electronics. And we got some nice discrete logic type stuff down here. This looks like motor driver. Yeah, this is motor driver electronics. I mean, we've got these two transistors that could easily be triacs or something. I might put some links in the description to part numbers and whatnot. I can read them off the video. So this looks like very much the motor drivers. It's where they all hit. We've got this interesting little device, which at first glance you'd be forgiven for thinking it's a temperature sensor. It is actually, and it links up to one of these, it is actually the inductance magnet, I forget the name, the inductance thing that basically detects the spinning. And there's 2 points here which go right in front of it, so each time it detects one of these, it knows it's gone 180 degrees. And each time it detects two of them, it's gone a full 360 degrees. So that's quite interesting. We'll ignore the phone, which is trying to distract. So here's the back of the board, covered in dust. I'll clean that off. And the front of the board is lovely, blurry, discrete logic, with probably a dedicated ASIC maybe an early microcontroller, but I don't think microcontrollers existed in 1984. If anyone knows for certain, please do correct. I'll probably look up the part numbers and put some data sheets, links to data sheets of what I can find in the description for further reading, that I will be doing after the video when actually building it. And then of course you've got a very weird interface that is long obsolete by today's standards. And to power, because our motor driver board needs power too. For those playing along at home, Seagate Technologies model ST421, and there's the serial number and whatnot. I'm going to see if any of you can guess the capacity, and see if I can guess it and see who's correct. That'll be a fun game. If you can work out the capacity, post it in the comments and I'll verify it with my own funds. So with it all assembled, it looks pretty damn awesome. There's one last thing I'd like to put out, and we will go around the back for this. Doing this is one-handed is difficult. And that is this connector here. I do not know what it is called, and I need a two-way connector. Basically the expansion connector for the IBM 5150. I do not know what it's called, so if anyone can find me links to where people still sell these things, or the parts to make them, although God, I do not fancy soldering that many connections. That would be a very long and tedious task. Yes, there's still some rust. Managed to get most of it off though. But yeah, if anyone can put me to some good points where I can source one of these cables, please do. The connector's the same on the other card as well, so yeah. Apart from that, we just need to give you the nice finishing shot of it assembled and looking pretty damn sexy, and if you compare that to what it looked like when I first got it, you'll see the difference. And the last shot of it fully reassembled, you could be forgiven for mistaking it for a second IBM 5150 of just a hard drive. Thank you, camera, for going out of focus randomly. That's really helpful. The joys of cameras, huh? Oh well, I'm going to be getting an SLR soon, and although it does 1080p video, it's going to be reserved for stills only. Because why the hell not? That's what I want it for, not for doing videos. But yeah, thanks for watching. That's been a cosmetic restoration of the expansion unit. And hopefully we can get round to getting the electronics problem sorted on the 5150 and get it to boot into DOS, and then we are pretty much done, other than sourcing a facility that can paint the case, repaint the cases, and then we're all done. But yeah, that all depends because I'm in full-time work, and so you can understand that takes up a lot of hobby sort of time. And when you get home in the evenings, you don't want to be really lugging heavy things like that around. But thanks for your patience, and thanks for watching. I hope to put out another video on the IBM 5150 soon. No promises.